Today I want to talk about self-preservation when you have an alcohol use disorder in your family, if it's a spouse or a child or a parent, and understanding if you're from an outsider and you've never experienced this, it will look like codependency or it will look like enabling in some of the activities that you do, but it's really about self-preservation for the particular family member. I know I got a lot of heat when I talked recently when I went on a trip to Lake George in upstate New York with my wife. Out of necessity, she had to be with me just for her just for her own safety because she couldn't be left alone. And I actually one night I bought her a bottle of wine, and so she could go back to the hotel and drink it, and I could go and have fun in the town by myself. And people on the outside would look at something like that and say, well, you're enabling that person and you're codependent. And no, it's about self-preservation. Sometimes you just have to let that person go because they've already at the point of no return. On that note, I'm also talking about someone who's deep dive into alcohol use disorder, and they're likely in the later stages. Sometimes, as a family member, your own health is just as important, if not more important, than the person in your family who's suffering from alcohol use disorder. And the reality is, and it's a difficult reality for family members, is sometimes you have to walk away, no matter what the situation is, to preserve your own mental health. You could have a mother or a father, or a child, a spouse, and sometimes they're at the point of no return, and you have to take care of yourself because you're tired of putting yourself in harm's way, and maybe your children in harm's way, or other people that are in your life in harm's way, and you're tired of having to hold the bag and really being taken advantage of with no thank you. It's a real thankless job being around someone who's an active alcoholic. A lot of times they don't even remember the things that you do for them, or they remember it in a way that is not helpful for anybody involved. Take for example, I used to have to, you know, put my wife into a rehab facility when I went to visit my parents in New York because there was no way she could live on her own. And she agreed to it a lot of times because she was very active alcoholic, and yet she wasn't there for the right reasons. I had to do these kind of things just so I could visit my parents who were really near the end of their life, and I wanted to be able to spend as much time as I could. So from about 2013 to 2020, I flew back to New York every year. And there was two incidences that I had to take her with me, and they were both unmitigated disasters. So it's extremely hard on families, and understanding that sometimes you do need to walk away, and sometimes you stay, and you may be together, but you may not really be together. And it's about self-preservation. And what I'm getting at is it's okay to take care of yourself when you have an alcohol use disorder in your family. On that note, if other people are judging you and they're looking at your actions because you've walked away, or that maybe it looks like you're enabling them because you're actually purchasing wine for them or beer or some kind of alcohol, and it's really just to pacify them. And people don't understand that sometimes you need to pacify the alcoholic in your life so you can have a quiet night to yourself, or a quiet evening, or a quiet period in your life. And it's not enabling, it's self-preservation. And unless you've been in that situation, there's no way you could understand that. And this is really going out for the people who are in that situation. And maybe it's time to decide if you really want to remain in that person's life. And maybe it's time to make a decision if you've tried to help them, because unfortunately, and we know, there's nothing you can do to change an alcoholic. You can assist them, you can try to put leverage against them to make certain decisions, but ultimately it does have to come from them. And you don't want to go down with the ship if that ship is sinking. And again, please like, share, and comment. And if you are ready to work with me, I work with families and alcoholics. I've helped thousands of families and their alcoholics in their family. The link is in the bio. You can go to the link tree, and then you go to the Calendly link, set up a Zoom call. Again, please, I guess I said like, share, and follow. We also have a Facebook group called There's an Alcoholic in the Family, and I go live every evening around 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, Monday through Friday. And again, thanks for listening.